Making all grain brewing is easy, and I just want to show you how easy it can be. So no need to worry if you're moving from extract brewing into all grain brewing. I'm just going to try and film the simplest recipe possible with the simplest techniques and equipment. So if you're watching this video for the first time and you haven't done it before, I will explain everything, and I'll take everything very slowly as we move through the different steps in the process. And with any brew day, the first step of the brew day is to make sure you have the ingredients and measure out the right quantities. So with a smash beer, it's very easy. It's only one type of grain and one type of hop. So the hop's in the freezer, and that's in the packet already measured, so I know how much is there. And with the grain, I need to measure out 1 kilogram, just over 1 kilogram for the recipe. So I'm just going to do that as the first step. The grain measured out. Next thing I've done is I've poured some water from the tap and actually put it into the big pot at the side of me, and I've put in 5.4 litres of water, and it's just heating up to 72 degrees C. And what we'll do then is we get the grains and we'll steep it into the kettle. I've just added 5.4 litres of water into the kettle, and I've just turned on the gas, and I'm just trying to heat up the kettle to 72 degrees C, and I'll switch off the gas and then I'll add the grains into the pot, as you'll see in a second. To measure the temperature, I'm using a digital thermometer, laser one. You just point it at the screen, zap, and it actually measures the temperature on the device, as you can see. So what I'll do is I'll just every now and again I'll just keep on shooting the temperature in the liquid, just get an idea of when it's around 72 degrees, and I'll just turn off the gas. And you've got the type of brew I'm going to do today is called brew in a bag. So we've got the liquid going there, we've got the grains, as you can see here, and what I need to do next is actually put the grains into the bag before we start the mashing process. So that's what I'm going to do next. So it's good to have a nice big bag. As you can see, this bag is quite big. It's got it's huge, a big opening on it. So what I'm going to do is just put it over the top of the grain, and we just turn this upside down. We'll probably get a bit of grain on the top, but that'll be all right. We just draw the strings up around, make sure the opening's above where the grain is, make sure we've got every bit out. We'll put that there. And what I do next is just to close this up. And there's a drawstring on this bag, so I'm just going to pull the drawstring. And then we've got that, so I'll put that back into there. And that's nicely now waiting for the brew to get to the liquid to get to the right temperature in the kettle. So you can see the bubbles starting to So the kettle has now reached 72 degrees C, and I'm just going to turn off the gas. What I'm going to do now is add the grains that we put into the bag into the kettle. So we just need to let that go in gently. And if you put the bag over the sides of the pot as such, you can just mix in the grains. I'll grab the camera just so you can see what's happening. So just mix the grains into the liquid. And what we're looking for here are clumps of grain that hasn't been dissolved in the liquid, and people tend to call those dough balls. So we're just going to make sure we haven't got any of those. And just make sure the water is able to circulate around all that grain. And it looks perfect to me as I'm looking at that now. So what we can do is we're going to close the lid, and we're just going to keep an eye on the temperature, and we're going to maintain it at 66 degrees C for 1 hour. And with this smash beer, we've got 4 hop additions of the same hop. So it's Cascade hop because it's a smash beer, a single malt and a single hop. Taking 50 grams and we split it up in 4 equal pots. So that means we'll add one every 15 minutes from when we start the boil to flame out. And we'll show that in a few seconds. The grains have been mashing for about 60 minutes. So what I've done is I've just raised the temperature of the kettle from 66 degrees to 75 degrees. This is called mashing out. So we're trying to remove every ounce of sugar remaining in the grains as we possibly can. I'm just going to let this drain off very nicely in its own accord. You can see the lovely smell of the liquid, and it's just draining off from the bag. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I've pulled the grains out of the kettle. And what we're going to do is we're just going to rinse it with some just off boiling water, just to get the remaining sugars out of the grains, and we'll push this back into the kettle in a couple of minutes. And we're just going to remove the grains. Yeah. And you can kind of see that nice syrupy liquid we got in the bottom there. So you can see all the extra sugars that we've drained out into the liquid from the grains. So removing the grains without actually rinsing them, you do lose a lot of your sugars and your alcohol content essentially. So we can put this back in. So now it's time to turn on the gas again and get the boil going. As you can see, the boil has just started, so I'm going to add the first hop addition to the boil. This is at time 0. And I'll give that a quick stir. And it'll froth up, which is normal when you add the first hop addition. But as in this case, we only have it a quarter full, so it's no problem, and it's not going to come over the top. But if you do have a full pot, a full kettle, just be careful. And this is the second hop addition after 15 minutes. So it's been brewing for the last, boiling for the last hour. So what we're going to do now is just add the last hop addition at flame out. So I'm just going to knock off the flame, and I'm going to add the last hop. Close the top, give it a bit of a shake, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cool this down as quickly as we can in the sink, and put some ice and cold water there. So hopefully get it down to 25 degrees C, and then we can pitch some yeast in there. Added some yeast to some sterilised water, and it's just hydrating, so that'll take about a quarter of an hour for the yeast to mix in with the liquid. So this is And what we'll do is we'll keep the damage on about 20-ish degrees C for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll go to bottling the liquid.